Hello all, welcome back. So let us resume our discussion of the shell scripting, Linux shell scripting, unit 1. So let us resume our discussion. So we have seen up to the bash start files and resource files. Okay, so startup files, whatever the bash rc, bash profile, logout, whatever the history and all, these are the resource files actually. Even the logout also the resource file. Now we'll see the quoting mechanisms. Like there are ways in this one: single quote, double quote, backslash, and back quote. So let us check what do you mean by the quotes. Okay, so now let me clear the screen. Okay, I have whatever value or something. So let us take the v1, doesn't matter actually. 1 2 3 4 I have actually. So now I want to print this is uh, like v1 is dollar v1, right? I want to print v1 is 1234, right? That's what I am trying to do. Or like let us start with something like this. So now welcome to shell. Maybe I will do this one, and I will do the same thing with single quotes actually. Welcome to shell. So I am doing the single quotes, I am doing the double quotes, there is no difference actually. So that is one thing, there is no difference. Now let us assume it's shell scripting, something like this I've written actually. So means I want to put single quotes in my string actually. In my display string I want to put a single quotes. So now you can put this one, so that is your part of the string. It is not part of the string representation, it is your part of your string what you need. Okay, so now let us assume I want to print a double quote in my string actually. So I want to print like this, which is not acceptable because it is expecting the string is up to this, and it is expecting another one, fourth one. That's what it is given you the whatever this symbol means. It is waiting for the command to terminate actually. So or it is like this is not needed. You can end that particular one with like I can say control c, and you can end this one. So control c signals and all we'll see in the in this linux shell scripting unit 10. We'll see details on that. Okay, so unit 9 I think so, yeah. So we'll see more on in that particular chapter or unit, whatever the way we call it. Okay, so now it is like I want to display the double quotes actually. How I will display? So if I want to display the double quotes, you can say something like this. It's like you can represent in the single quotes actually. So that is one way. But I want to represent like this, then you will be using this backslash actually. So backslash means you are suppressing the default functionality of that particular character actually. So the character has a meaning, special meaning. This one you don't want to take that meaning, you want to treat it as a normal character. So if you want to treat a special character as a normal character, you need to prepend with the backslash. So that is the backslash actually. So we have seen single quote, we have seen double quote, we have seen backslash. So another thing, then what is the difference between like single quotes and double quotes actually? So now let us assume I'll use this one. v1 is dollar v1 I am using in the double quotes actually. So now you can see here v1 is 1234, it is displayed. Now I want to say the same thing in the single quotes. So if you say this one, the dollar v1 cannot be interpreted actually. So in the single quotes, variables cannot be interpreted, it is not possible. Only it can interpret the single quotes, only interpret string actually. It cannot, it can understand only string, it cannot understand the variable. A string, like I store any string in the variable, I want to display, no, that also not possible actually. So I say whatever the echo dollar value. Okay, so whatever echo, I just say hello, one string actually. So I say echo hello is dollar hello, right? This is also not possible actually. So it will not be dollar variable, it cannot interpret in the single quotes. That is simple actually. So that's what, if you have certain variables, then you need to use double quotes. If you have a simple string, you can use a single quotes. And then backslash, you know that one, if you want to treat a special character as a normal character, you'll use that. And you have something called the back quote actually. So that we will see. Now I say ls actually. So I got this output, but I want to store this particular output in my variable actually. So how you will do? So you will use the like I am using this variable actually, my ls, and you should be very careful in these spaces for whatever the variables also, you should not give any spaces actually. So if you are giving these spaces, additional spaces gone, it cannot recognize. Now this is the back quote. So you can see here the back quote actually. So back quote is uh, like beside the number one key in my keyboard, mostly it will be there only. So like that is the back quote actually. So you should remember that back quote is different, single quote is different, double quote is different, and then backslash is different. So four are different characters. So this and the it has to start with, end with same thing. So you cannot start with single quote and end with double quotes. So any that combination not possible. Single quote end with single quote, double quote end with double quote, and there is no ending for the backslash actually. So that's what that one. Now I have this. Now means what? Now ls it is not executing actually. So it is storing the result of this ls into this variable actually. So now if I say my ls, it is I have this particular data, these I can use actually, not only ls date or anything you will be using. So let us assume you have whatever the shell script files actually, so user bin. So you want to check certain things actually, so you will say ls on that particular user bin, then that will be stored. So now let us assume like ls I say user bin a star, something like this files. So something or I say whatever b star, maybe I am just trying to see for less number of files actually. Okay, so it is coming more number of files only. Okay, e is enough actually. So now my bin files, something variable I'm giving proper variable, so no worries on that. So like you, that is nothing like strict you need to follow, but I am using like this. So okay, no, so I have given whatever this particular one. No backport, you are you cannot use whatever. So user bin, okay, I just say user bin, it's okay. No, no, I need to say ls, right? I cannot execute this file actually. Okay, so now if I say echo dollar my bin files, you will know whatever the files actually. So you want to process like this, you will be using this particular way. So that is the backcode which you will be using to practice on this. So we have discussed on the whatever the coding mechanisms. Now we will see execute command sequentially and in a subshell actually. So let us check on that, what do you mean by that. So now let us assume I want to execute two three commands, like I say ls pwd something like date, something I want to check actually. So now if you see this one, all things one by one it will be executed. Now how you will know whether it is same shell or different shell? Now I say ps minus f. Okay, so ps minus f, multiple shells are there actually. mm, okay, I will just say okay, because I have created subshell like that. Now I am exiting. Let us have only one shell actually. Okay, now I have only the one shell 8729. Now let us assume we executed that particular commands actually, lspwd date. So if you want to execute multiple commands in at the same time but one by one, and then you need to use the this semicolon, then it will be doing like no this particular one by one actually. So where we are user bin now, let us go to the home directory. Okay, so now if you see this one, it will be whatever the desktop, like this you have the ls output and pwd, and then you have the data output actually. So now how you know that whether it is worked in the same shell or different shell actually. So let us try that particular one. So I say ls, then I say ps minus f, and then I say pwd, then I say ps minus f, and then mm, after ls, right? Okay, so then a date I will say. So after every command, I am just telling ps minus f. So if you see this one, whatever the ps minus f, it is working. It is like if you see this one, whatever the ps minus f, it is on the same shell actually. So you have no change in the shell 8729, 8729, 8729. So that is under, it is working serially, right? But you want to execute in the subshell actually. So then you just need to put a braces, nothing else you will do. Just you put a braces. Now we will see the same output actually. So if you see this one, it is created a subshell, and then in that subshell the parent will be the your the base shell, and it is created the subshell and it is executing in the subshell. Once it is done, it will be no more available actually. So if I say ps, that will not be available because that is already gone. because once executed it will exit, and then the process will be, the shell will be destroyed, or shell will be removed, or whatever the terminology, this shell will not be anymore available. So if you want to execute commands in single shell, you can use this way, without the like braces. And if you want to do this one in a subshell, you can do this one. So now whenever you are creating a script file and running, the same thing it is doing, actually it is running in the subshell. So that's what it is doing. Anyway, once we see that one, we will see that particular one once we start with the writing shell script file. So we will come to that in the next unit, how you will write your shell script actually. So here you are executing here only in the command line. So do I mean to say that when I have to execute here? No. So if you have, let us assume you want to do lspwd date, every minute you want to do this particular one, you will not come to the shell every minute you will execute. That is an impossible task actually. So you will write everything in the shell script. Shell script is nothing but a set of commands actually. We will come to that. So the next unit will talk about that one. So this unit, it is only briefly tells you what is the environment, what is the shell, and then we will go to that particular thing. Okay. So now let us see the remaining things. Read only and unsetting the variable. Okay, so these are read only variable. If I want to make one variable read only, you can make that particular one. So I will just take whatever there in the slide, water equal to mm, something, single quote or double quote you can do, and I say read only, and then I need to give dollar, I don't think so, I will try. So now let us assume I say echo dollar water. Okay, it is like, no, now I will just try to make it something like this. Now it will not be available actually. So it read only means you cannot set that variable actually. So that is the whatever the read only variable. Now you have something called the unsetting the variable. Okay, so now let us assume my v1, I just use this particular one, my v1, it is not available, right? Okay, so now let us assume my v1, I can store integer value or whatever the value actually. So let us store the integer value, and then I say echo dollar my v1. Okay, so now this I want to like, no, if you are not removing this, now it will be there in the system actually. So of course this my v1 you can like reassign string. In that case it will free this particular memory whatever there in the my v1, and it will allocate new memory, and it will store this particular hello string actually. So now if you say echo my v1, it will give you hello. So whatever way you want, you can do that particular one. So now let us assume this value will be available until unless like you are reassigned to another variable, or you are using it or not, it will be available in the system. But let us assume you want to unset that one, clear the memory for that variable because you are no more using. If you are sure you are no more using, it is better to use the unset. Okay, so I say unset my v1 because now I in the shell everything is a global values, and then it will be visible. It is best thing is you need to unset if you don't use it actually, and you can reassign that, then automatically it will be freed. So that is also there, so the same value. But in the real project you cannot use the same variable because you need to name the variable as per your project requirement. So okay, so this is the way. If you don't use that variable, you just unset. Now I just say echo my v1. Now this may not be available actually. So this is the way how you can reset your variables. Now you have the something called the prompt strings actually. So that is nothing but a ps1 and all. So now I say ps1 like, no, shell. I just say something like this actually. Okay, shell. Now if you see this one, now you will get the same thing whatever here actually. So now if I say uh, echo this one, then you will get this. Okay, so this shell you will get. Now let us assume you want to have a time actually. Okay, so in that case you can use this one. So I am defining a time, and then whatever the space, then dollar, then space, like that you can define multiple things like username, yeah, so like host name, okay, like working directory, okay, and complete working directory. Okay, so here in this case same. So like that you have set of these particular variables actually. So let me go to that. This is my favorite, so better I will use this ps1. Now we will see whatever there are multiple things. Okay, so even the prompt string actually. So if you say this one, echo prompt string, it will give you whatever. Okay, so you are not defined any prompt string, so you can use this particular prompt string as well. Now let us assume I have ps1 we have seen, ps2 we'll see, ps3 ps4 we'll see in the like next units actually. Okay, so that is a little different, so we'll see that one, but we'll see ps2. Okay, so now let us assume I say something like this, welcome. Okay, so something I have given, welcome to shell. Okay, now I forgot to give this one, or I want to give in the next line. So if you want to give in the subsequent line also, you can just say like this. Okay, shell scripting. Okay, now if you see this one, I have this whatever the this string actually. So but this is I have given the new line actually, but you want this one in the same line. Okay, so I will say echo welcome to shell. So this is continuation, line continuation actually, so scripting. Okay, so now if you see this one, whatever it is in the single line actually. Okay, so then what is the purpose of ps2, this particular string actually, that is the purpose of the ps2. So now I set whatever the ps2 something like this. Maybe please complete something like this, I will put. Okay, so now I will use like this actually. Okay, so of course this is available only for this particular shell. If you want the changes to be permanent, you need to use the bashrc file actually. So that's what the how you, that is the way how you will do. Okay, now if you see this one, mm, I will redo the same, welcome to. Now if you observe, now if you observe this one, it is coming whatever the string we have given actually. So this is nothing but the ps2. Okay, so this is the ps2 string, so which will give you the prompt string. So this one is for debugging, this is for the in the loops unit we will see that thing, like whenever you are using the case statement and you want to pass with certain options, you will be using that. So we'll see more on that ps3 and ps4 in the next sessions actually. So that's what this one. Okay then, so the, okay, let me write here the session 1, unit 1, session 1, right? Session 2. Okay, so still session 2 will be whatever the unit 1 only. Okay, okay, so now we have seen whatever the remaining things, like the startup, the coding mechanisms, coding mechanism, and then the executing commands, ps1 ps3, executing commands in subshell, in sequential and subshell, and whatever the prompt strings. Okay then, so we have seen this particular one. So the next in the next session or next part of the same unit 1, we will see the slides, so that we will see whether we have missed anything. Hope you enjoyed this session. So if you have any comments, you can put into the comments section. So see you in the next continuation video, and you can subscribe for the more videos actually. Okay then, see you in the next video. Bye for now.